Welcome back, and we are moving on to a very exclusive program. This is all for the betterment and the future of Sri Lanka, and this is towards a better future. This is where we invite you to join us on a very exclusive interview with a very special person. Before I introduce the person to you, I have to say that in the recent development or the coming days that we are looking forward for a grandiose celebration when it comes to the opening of the second expressway that's been taking place. And along with that, we do also have the biggest summit that is scheduled to take place here in Sri Lanka. Now, when it comes to the CHOGM for the year 2013, hosting here at home in Sri Lanka, there are a number of people who were instrumental by bringing a lot of progress to host the summit here in Sri Lanka. And we have one such individual here who's joining us on today's exclusive interview here with me. We have the former Foreign Minister, Honorable Mr. Rohitha Bogollagama. A very good morning to you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning to you.
Thank you very much for joining on this exclusive interview. Sri Lanka as a brand perception, as a business, and of course looking forward to an organization. Why CHOGM 2013 hosting in Sri Lanka, and you being instrumental in it? What was the reason behind it?
I think there's a bit of history here. When we defeated terrorism by 2009, we had the opportunity of putting Sri Lanka on the world map as a country that has achieved lasting peace for her people, and a country that wants to integrate with the rest of the world. What better platform that one can seek than an international organization like that of the Commonwealth? We have been a member of the Commonwealth for nearly 65 years. In 2009, when I had to battle it out for us to get this summit for 2013, there were some concerns getting expressed by the pillars of the CHOGM or the Commonwealth, so to say, like Australia and the Great Britain included. But there were a lot of others who supported us. And in fact, South Africa, I must mention in particular, Malaysia, Singapore, and this was in Trinidad and Tobago at the port of Spain when the summit was held in 2009. But we battled it off on the basis that we need CHOGM, which got endorsed on a proposal made with the blessings of His Excellency Mahinda Rajapaksa by me in 2007 in Kampala in Uganda. And we took this roadmap up to Trinidad and Tobago in 2009, and by that time we had completely eliminated terrorism in 2009 May. And this opportunity I want to seize, because an opportunity which I proposed in 2007 with the support of President Mahinda Rajapaksa, and I thought it's best that Sri Lanka can showcase her achievements down the line and also the historical developments that Sri Lanka has been committed to as a democratic nation, and to integrate with the rest of the world on equal terms, not to a country that is behind others, but a country that can get treated equally with the rest of the developed world and also with the rest of the members of the CHOGM or members of the Commonwealth, numbering 54 countries at that time. Today, with the departure of the Niger, it's only 53 countries coming to Sri Lanka. But with that, we succeeded in getting it endorsed for 2013 in Sri Lanka, proposed when in fact Australia wanted for 2011, which we were originally planning. I said only condition that Sri Lanka would concede to Australia would be the proposal should be coming from the Prime Minister of Great Britain, and that was Prime Minister Gordon Brown. So that this concession was granted, and Prime Minister Gordon Brown proposed Sri Lanka, and along with Australia for 2013, and on my suggestion Australia for 2011, 2013 for Colombo, Sri Lanka, and 2015 to Mauritius. So that's down the line arrangements for CHOGM. And having got this, now that's the time that we wanted world recognition, acknowledgement, and above all interaction. And with this platform now coming to Sri Lanka, I think we have to look beyond Colombo and the coming years where CHOGM can make a difference for the people of Sri Lanka. I think that is what President Mahinda Rajapaksa wants to do. Not the glorification or holding a summit only, and holding a head of state summit and the head of states coming to the country, very good. But beyond that, I think that is the plan the government is envisaging, and that was my own thinking, that when we get a summit to Sri Lanka, we showcase Sri Lanka, we create the opportunities to the people, we get the leaders of the other country to see what we have achieved in this country, what Sri Lanka's landscape stands for, what Sri Lanka's policy framework caters to, likewise. So it's a matter of taking from one step to another, and the ladder for Sri Lanka to climb to greater heights is been laid with CHOGM 2013 in Colombo. That's what I believe that CHOGM should be, and the fact that we have been a member of this organization, which is committed totally to democracy. Sri Lanka being the host 2013, it's itself an endorsement of Sri Lanka's roadmap on democracy, and with the type of leaders coming into the country, it creates the environment for one to have the bilaterals, to strengthen your relationships with the given countries who are coming to visit you. And when you are on home base or home ground, it's better for you to develop your personal relationships with your guests who are coming into the country. So that's how you have to really see the multifaceted development associated and the benefits for the people associated with hosting of an event of this nature.
And while thanking you, sir, for your expertise in putting and being a part of the entire set of project of hosting here in Sri Lanka for CHOGM 2013, I'd like to ask you probably a very tough question. CHOGM 2013, how big is the challenge?
I take it every challenge has an opportunity. I think we should look at the opportunities it creates. Challenges having the recognition retained. Now, why have they given this concession to Sri Lanka, or why have they given the opportunity to Sri Lanka to be the host? Now, becoming the host is the important part and the difficult part. I think we have crossed that border. We have crossed that area in terms of our having to deliberate over again. Now it's on a very clean sheet, clean platform that you have to pitch yourself. And I think this is where the government should be concerned to get the best out of this, the yield that you are going to derive out of this. Because the seeds have been already sown, and it has got recognized, and it has now multiplied into a level at which greater expression of, I think, acknowledgement is now taking place right across the country. When you see some of your video clips and your programs right around the country, people coming on stage, signing into the CHOGM, becoming aware of or conscious of it, the priests in the country speaking and endorsing it, and they are all saying that in terms of it's been good. So it has not only been good for Sri Lanka, it has been good for the Commonwealth fraternity, numbering 1/4 of the world's countries, 53 countries, in a world of 194 countries in the world. So it's a big number, a good size. And also the population-wise, we have big countries, small countries associated in the CHOGM. We have the biggest country in the Commonwealth is India, and India being part of it. South Africa, the variety, the diversity associated with the community associated with the CHOGM are all matters that we should reflect on. And what the Commonwealth stands for: democracy, human rights, development, all agendas that can form part of your deliberations. Then you take that forward and you take it beyond the period, the tenure of your chair of 2 years for Sri Lanka, and this is the highlight I think Sri Lanka should embark on in terms of highlighting the achievements for the people, at the same time bringing a new dimension into the vehicle of the Commonwealth to make it more vibrant in terms of the pursuit for the greater goals for which the members are committed to, rather than making it a fun affair, a glorification only, or a feast which is normally associated with a summit. You can't avoid that, but that is good enough. But it has to be taken beyond, and that is where the development agenda associated with the CHOGM and the program of work that would reflect on the deliberations or the leaders should come out. I think this is a good opportunity, and I am very happy to witness this happening in the country under the stewardship and the leadership of President Mahinda Rajapaksa.
Right. While thanking that on that note, sir, we do understand that hosting CHOGM 2013, there are lots of benefits being taking place on the fundamental wide variety of spectrum of areas in different fields. For instance, may it be tourism, may it be finance, or every aspect. On your purview, what do you believe on every factor? Where are we heading in going forward?
The fact that large numbers are coming into the country, associated with the business forums, associated with the cultural visits, the awareness, the media presence in the country, large community of media personnel coming from all over the world. You couldn't have got this if not for this summit. Why should people come in large numbers at a given time in the absence of an organization of this nature, hosting a summit in Sri Lanka? Now that is the advantage of a summit. And once they go back with the memories and with an action plan. Sometimes the action plan has to be encouraged by the host. You can't allow them to just come and see and decide on what they should do best. But we also should become partners in that progress. This is where the strategies matter, in order to make use of the best of them and to get your communications done well, and to convert and converge the 54 world leaders coming into the country, their delegations, to become your ambassadors in turn, to reflect on what you have done for this country and reflect on what our achievements since defeating terrorism and achievements and the benefits that have flown to the people of this country. And these are the matters I think should manifest in terms of your agenda for implementation. Now this is an implementary trajectory that you have to work towards. Otherwise we will have the glorification, the fees, deliberations, and before the ink on your paper gets dried, everything might get even forgotten. But you should not do that. We should take it forward, continuously have that focus in the implementary part. Then the people will benefit. We can seek visa concessions from some other countries for our students. Why should we do that? And these are matters that we must concede in terms of working your own strategies at the bilaterals with the visiting member countries. I think these are how we can develop our own pursuit for the greater benefit of our people. These what I think international summits are for. And when you become the host, the investment you make in becoming the host should get reflected in terms of benefits to your country, to the people.
So apart from CHOGM 2013, you have contributed to the economy of Sri Lanka to make it the hub for empowerment and for the employees to get there someday. What was the reason behind it for the huge enrollment of making Sri Lanka possible?
I think basically what President Rajapaksa has done during his period in office are twofold. One is the scourge of terrorism that affected our country's life, security, people's own development, were completely getting totally abandoned with various strategies our previous governments followed. Some want to negotiate with the terrorists, some wanted to give more time for the terrorists, some want to offer proposals, packages, likewise. But President Rajapaksa took one firm decision, and I am happy that I served with him at that crucial moment. In 2005, having won the presidency, we had two options: either negotiate the terrorists, or when you fail negotiating terrorists for a peaceful agenda, for them to give up arms, you strike on a military approach. And he had that commitment and that vision to do so. And that capability got backed up with the support we got internationally. Otherwise we couldn't have defeated terrorism locally. And this is why I say, having done that part first, you defeat terrorism. But a lot of countries have defeated terrorism and have remained very static, including most countries in the Commonwealth that were affected with terrorism, did defeat terrorism at some time or the other, but they have not progressed in beyond that. in terms of an economic trajectory for the greater benefit of her people. So therefore, President Rajapaksa has converted that approach into a more deliverance on the development front. That is why you see, along with CHOGM, a major manifestation in terms of a mega development taking place on the Katnayaka-Colombo expressway. We have seen it from the time we were children, the need for expressway connecting the airport with the hub or the Colombo capital. But only it is getting realized after 45 long years under President Rajapaksa, similar to what he did in defeating terrorism after 30 long years that Sri Lanka suffered. So likewise, I think the pitching of development along with your agenda for the greater benefit of the country, for the people, speaks a lot, because these are practical deliverance. They are not rocket science. What he has done is looking at international connections and bringing the value of those connections to translate into greater physical development in the country, and also pitching yourself in the high moral line in terms of values like that the CHOGM or the Commonwealth is committed to. So I think these are major facets that you have to acknowledge and take it forward.
Right. And looking at every aspect of business that we're looking forward, even during war, we started little projects, although it was not highlighted in a grand scale, but now we see the progress, everything falling in place. We are speeding things up very fast. Does the world know about this? I think
the world has to be made aware of these things. That is why I always maintain the line that interaction, engagement are key things that like that of a corporate body, like of a company, like of an organization, for a country too. You can't live in isolation. In the event you are trying to pitch things within the walls of Sri Lanka or the shores of Sri Lanka, you get little out of it. You go across the seas, the oceans, and then seek the collaborations, the interest for your country. Then you get greater benefits. Two things we can seek from the world, which is vital for the country. One is the technology. So if most countries like Sri Lanka lacks technology. Technology has got developed over the years, centuries in the western part of the world. There's nothing to hide about that. So you need technology for a development in a given country. You go in for the power sector, you go in for the energy sector, you may go in for the industrial sector, even the plantation sector. The seeds that have to be sown, even in the agriculture sector, have to be the best today to get the best yields for your farmers. So that has to be sought from overseas at times, from the advanced countries, and then use it for your people. So therefore, technological transfer is vital for economic development. Second area is the seed capital. Countries like Sri Lanka, developing countries, lack seed capital in the given country. So you need assistance, you need investments, you need the FDI, foreign direct investment, and that can be at various levels. The mega projects, the semi, then comes into the medium size, then the SMEs, or even to the micro level, where people can be given given cattle for their dairy projects. Not the big scale, but even the small scales. But thereby, you generate the household income. These were at that time when I was Minister of Enterprise Development, we created the SME Bank, Small and Medium Enterprise Bank. Now today it is the Lanka Putra Bank. And then we also created the National Enterprise Development Authority that could transfer technology along with assistance in the build-up of the SMEs. And now the VOI. I had the privilege of being the chairman of the Board of Investment long years ago, and then it came under my purview in 2006 under President Mahinda Rajapaksa's time. At that time, when the war was on, in 2006 we generated $640 million in terms of foreign direct investments, and that came into the country, and that's what is needed. And today I wish them do more and better. Because today the environment has completely changed. No one can find fingers on Sri Lanka's security, which is vital for a country, and the stability in the government, which is again a vital element for development. It's a stable government with a pursuit, with a policy framework, with a commitment, and with the implementary capacity. And this is what is needed for the country. And I think that is in place today. So I think what the country will stand to get is definitely going to be better than what we got previously. So I think we should wish that agenda to pursue, being pursued, and also get the benefits for the people.
Right. So our time is permitted, so this is where we want to thank you in a very special way for sharing the very important facts, because our viewers out there really need to know what is our plan, where are we going ahead, and why we brought CHOGM 2013 to be the host country here in Sri Lanka. Well, thanking you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us on our program. We hope to have you back for more.
Thank you very much.
And to all our viewers out there, thank you very much for joining us on this very exclusive interview that we brought to you with the former Foreign Minister, Honorable Rohitha Bogollagama. Join us tomorrow on the show for Rise and Shine as we come to you on a Friday morning.